saw before too.
It's interesting, man. They honestly,
The guy was like, if Luka Doncic retired right now, would he be in the Hall of Fame for the NBA? I said no. He's done a lot to. I mean, but you can't put his Europe League involved with the NBA. That's not NBA Hall of Fame.
right? Is it the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame or the National Basketball Association? There's a big difference.
The same time.
Just like question.
Okay, but okay, no.
Would an XFL player be able to make it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame? The XFL is Pro Football.
No, you know why? Because no one. I'm sorry. Just because they name it Pro Football Hall of Fame doesn't mean it results to the other leagues.
It does.
Because none of them go to the NFL Hall of Fame. None of them go to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
There are players from before the NFL.
Before the NFL.
Which was a different company.
When there was 3 or 4 different leagues all fighting for the one. Now one trumps, and they took. I'm sorry, they took over. I'm sorry. It doesn't need to be a National Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't have to be. So that it's Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Riddle me this: if the XFL blows up and doesn't rival the NFL, because I don't think it ever will. I'm not stupid. But say it becomes the farm league for the NFL, right? Like baseball has.
They should have their
league.
own
NBA has
Hall of
a
Fame. They should have. Okay.
Players from the XFL who coach create
the rules are different. The rules of the game are different.
It affects the game of football.
The rules
to loosen this is definitely going to be an
The rules of the game are the rules of the XFL and the rules of the NFL are completely different. So the stats itself, because that's what the Pro Hall of Fame is based off the stats. The stats are skewed.
That's why they're
skewed.
It shouldn't be based off the stats. Like Joe Namath on stats alone has no business being in the National Football Hall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
He made it because he's the only one that got to the Super Bowl.
Well, the reason he's in the Hall of Fame is because of his instrumental part in the AFL-NFL merger. So I disagree with you. These days, it's all about stats. I agree with you. But I don't think it should be all about stats. I think it should be instrumental, much like Abbott and Costello are in the Baseball Hall of Fame. They're the only members of the Baseball Hall of Fame that have never played professional baseball, coached professional baseball, or owned a professional baseball team. But yet, because of their Who's on First get, they are in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There's a fact that you didn't know.
Yeah, but that Who's on First name was that is the
instrumental part of the game.
That's something that started the game. The game's already been played. There's nobody in this day and age that's going to do or say something that's like, holy shit, someone hasn't done or said that. Now it's all based on the players. Not on some random person making a meme and they're like, oh, they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I think now it gets a little weird with basketball to bring it back to the original part of the conversation.
Because basketball, yeah, they also have
different countries. Like I feel like I have a very strong argument against you with baseball is different countries, but with football, because I feel that if you're instrumental to the change of the game, you should be in the Hall of Fame.
Depends on what it
is, though. Right, but that's an argument we can have. With basketball and baseball,
you can't put the Europe League with the NBA.
That's hard.
You can't put the Europe. That's okay. So he's in the Europe Hall of Fame.
Basketball Hall of Fame. They changed the name to the American Basketball Hall of Fame, the American Pro Basketball Hall of Fame.
So then just change it and just say NBA.
But they're two different.
Change it and just say NFL.
But they're two different companies. The Pro Football Hall of Fame and the National Football League are two different companies.
So then why is anyone in the NBA or the NFL or whatever going to another company and becoming a Hall of Fame? You shouldn't. It should be connected.
That is the argument.
It should be connected. So you're part of two different organizations. That means whatever you did in the NBA or the NFL, whatever, means nothing. So what have you done for me lately? Why are you in the Hall of Fame? Because it's two separate companies. That means what you did in this company means nothing to me.
And as far as the Luka Doncic argument goes, I can agree with you there because the European League is a completely different company than the NBA. Because the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame judges the NBA. Pro Football Hall of Fame judges the NFL. Although they're different companies,
Cooper Sound is MLB.
Right. So there is the argument that I can understand and that I can agree with. That's there.
So
there
it's there. The disagreement is pretty much them.
The companies.
It's why they
right.
are different.
And it's one thing for the sport in different companies, XFL versus NFL on the same continent. And although and I get where you're coming from with the rules being different, but they are so severely that and the level of play is so egregiously different.
Because right now
between the European leagues and the NBA.
So
the NBA team could look the best.
The Knicks right now can beat anyone on that side. So right now with Doncic, he has all these accolades in Europe, and you're gonna come over and say, yeah, he retires right now. He's NBA Hall of Fame. Okay. If LeBron James retires right now, he is in the Europe Hall of Fame. He's in the Europe Basketball Hall of Fame.
You got me there.
He's in, or maybe not even LeBron James because he's never played overseas. I'm gonna do you one better. Pau Gasol, who started his career on Spain's basketball team, went over to the NBA and now has re-signed with Barcelona to finish his career. He should be in the NBA Hall of Fame and the Europe Hall of Fame.
That I would say yes.
He's not though. He's not though.
Yeah.
He's not though.
How what are the requirements to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame? I know
you have to be out of the NBA for 5 years. Retired.
As he met that. So what is retired? So what is retired? Retired is not playing basketball ever, or not playing just basketball for the National Basketball Association.
Exactly.
Because I feel like if you're bringing it to me with Pau Gasol, I would say yes. I think he should be.
Which I think eventually he probably will be.
And if you bring that same argument to me with, so I agree with the original. I'm on your side with the original argument that if Luka Doncic retires now, if you're taking in his previous accolades, no. Maybe the European Hall of Fame, sure, I agree with that.
Maybe after his NBA career, you're like, holy shit, you're on the teeter, and you're like, well, wait. Did you see what he did in Europe after doing 15 years in the NBA?
Pau Gasol is a little bit different because he's played so long and has so many accolades in both. Luka Doncic has only so many accolades here, but not.
He's building fast,
and he will be a Hall of Fame. But I see where you're coming from, and what does, as far as Pau Gasol goes, what does Stephen A. Emotional up next? What does retired mean? Does it mean you're not holding a basketball for your job, or does it mean you're not playing in the National Basketball Association?
I think it's just NBA,
right? Because again, the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame judges the NBA, and Pro Football, NFL. That's interesting.
Now, if you're gonna do all the Pro Hall of Fames, any sport, whatever. So and you want to broaden it to pretty much you're saying international,
right?
Then you got to go back decades, and so many more people are going to be.
So then that's my question. Then I guess to those international sports, the Hockey Hall of Fame, the
like right now the winner baseball, that winner baseball league shit, USA, Dominican, whatever. Half of them are MLB players. You telling me whatever they do on that, they should be in the Hall of Fame? Right. You could be a shitty ass pitcher, go 0 for 11 in the season, ERA that's fucking skyrocket, then go over to the Dominican League or whatever during the winter league. You win it all with a .7 ERA. Should be in the Hall of Fame because
I have a breaking down the tape thing that we're gonna do is visit Hall of Fames. I need to ask these questions.
Yo, for real.
This is something that's gonna bug me. Because, question.
It is the Bible, and like, I agree and disagree with you, and you agree that it's
for those international sports, then, if somebody doesn't play a day in the American pro sport, if it's just labeled the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame, Pro NBA, or Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, if they don't play a day in the NBA, but they play pro basketball in Europe, in Japan, in whatever, and they are by 10,000 points the most amazing shooter ever. They have 10 million home runs. Do they make it to Cooperstown? Do they make it to
this? And it just
because they play pro sports.
It just hit me now.
Not a pro sport.
And this is where I'm gonna say, I think this is where it gets it. America.
Right.
America. It's Pro Football Hall of Fame. But but it's based only on, obviously, America is a very hard quotes. Like I don't even know what's harder than fucking
right.
I would say any league America makes, those players can potentially go into the Hall of Fame, but nothing outside of America.
Right.
Of America.
Right. You have to
NBA, MLB, or whatever, XFL, or, it's America, because you don't get those international players unless they come over to the league and they play for the league. Sure. So I think it's based off of the country itself, America. Like, it's based off of just...
So this is an interview.
It's crazy. It's
a requirement that I never thought we would have, but we must.
We just spent an extra 47 minutes on the podcast.
We must interview people from these Hall of Fames. I need answers. I never thought this was something that I would lose sleep over, but I don't think I'm sleeping tonight over this because I feel like the NFL again is easy because it's on this continent, right? Like, I feel that football is simple because in my mind, and the argument is easy, regardless of what.
And it's weird when you come to soccer,
right?
When you go to soccer, MLS compared to international soccer, both have their individual Hall of Fames. I'm pretty sure they have individual Hall of Fames. MLS for America, then international soccer.
Then why would you call it the pro? I guess I'm getting hung up.
I think it's America. I think it's America. Their pro squad.
I don't want to be like the Karen in the room. Then change it to American Pro or Pro American whatever. And for most people, that might sound stupid, but for me, at least the way I'm looking at it, there's a very serious
someone
in sports history. Because, like, perfect question is Luka Doncic has recorded all of these crazy accolades
since 13 years old.
You said it. He played pro. So then how does he not belong in, as it's titled now, the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame?
Because the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame started in America off of the NBA or NHL.
I never thought I'd find something in sports that turns me into a Karen, but this is. I feel like
there's going to be a Karen out there that fucking hears this and goes off, and they're going to change it.
I don't know if we should ever publish this.
They're going to go off on this and be like, oh, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Which this is just an argument that we're trying to
for sure.
Like, how does this work?
Yeah.
How does this work?
So we have to hit up balls of things. All sports.
So rugby is a sort of form of football.
We
like
do
rugby
players
for tackles and stuff come into the NFL. Like
we do have a professional rugby, but then again, what constitutes as professional? Because there's hundreds of thousands of football across the U.S.
But the only ones that make statement is the XFL and the NFL. And before that, it was the AFL and
is the CFL? Is the CFL Canadian Football League considered?
Okay.
As the there was another one my grandparents had season tickets to for the.
So that's where I joined up. So I'm gonna stop you at the CFL. That's where I want to be like. I agree with you that other players should join because who was in the CFL before they came to the? No. Okay, I got one specific person. I hope you can get him. There's one person who played for the CFL, came over to the NFL, won an MVP and a Super Bowl after the fact that they thought he was already washed up.
I feel like the second you say it, I'm going to be mad.
Kurt Warner.
I knew it. I knew the answer. I knew I was going to be mad.
Kurt Warner. He played. I'm not gonna sure. He played some years in the Canadian Football League, blew it up, and then won an MVP in the Canadian Football League. So then came over on a replacement, on a replacement job.
So then in Canton, in the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, is his Canadian Football League stats included.
I need to know this.
I never thought I'd get to a position like this today.